it quickly turned into the darkest day, and one of the darkest days in our district's history, and the worst day in my life.
In Ohio, school in shock after a crash kills 3 students, a teacher, and 2 parents.
It happened here along I-70 in Licking County, just east of Columbus. Now, those students were on their way to Columbus from Tuscarawas County to perform at the Ohio School Board Association's conference.
Now, hundreds filled the Tuscarawas Valley School's football stadium for a vigil. This gave students, staff, and other community members a chance to come together, mourn the loss of the sick of his life. And says the students who passed away lost their lives far too young. Other staff members struggling to understand what took place.
I know our hearts and our minds are reeling. And yet, we must remain encouraged and strong and united.
Gave an update on that crash just hours ago.
Yeah, Isabel Hansen, following that, she is in Licking County with the latest on that investigation.
Usually when you feel that impact, you close your eyes, and when you all realize what happened, opened our eyes again, the seats are all smashed in, it's a complete mess.
Samantha Bossler, a high schooler at Tuscarawas Valley Local Schools, opened her eyes to this scene.
The hit came from the back, and it came all the way up through the back, and there was immediate flames from the truck in the back.
She was one of more than 50 students and chaperones on a charter bus traveling to Columbus for a band performance.
And then we smelled smoke and there was flames, so we all told the kids they needed to get off because the back of the bus was on fire. So then they started having kids hopping over seats to get out because our aisles had stuff in.
Emergency crews and investigators filled this stretch of the highway, working to determine what caused the crash. A highway patrol lieutenant says it involved 5 vehicles, including the bus.
And I went and I took care of my friends who I knew were having the most rough time of it, because one of my friend's brother, his brother passed in it, so I was trying to be there for my friend.
The highway patrol reports 3 students on the bus died, and all 3 people in a car did not survive either. Samantha says another victim's her best friend's mom.
She just took so much care of all of the band kids.
Shortly after the crash, we spoke with a truck driver who pulled up to the scene. He called us as we filmed him on the interstate. He describes the scene as catastrophic.
I saw them, they had a ladder up in one window because there was a couple people exiting from the front of the bus. And it looks like they were near the rear of the bus trying to pull a couple people off. You never know when something like this can happen.
Now, Samantha says her school community needs your support.
I feel like we just all need to be there for each other, do what we can, try and hold each other strong, because there's nothing we can do at this point other than be there and do what we can to help them.
Governor Mike DeWine ordering the flags of the U.S. and the state of Ohio at half-staff starting tomorrow at sunrise, then ending on Saturday. Licking County can be found right there on our homepage.
Prosecuting attorney Matt Heck Jr. announced Clayton Cooper has now been indicted on several counts connected to a utility vehicle crash that killed 2 women. Cooper faces several charges, including aggravated vehicular homicide. Now, the incident happened in Clay Township in October of 2022. That's when they say Cooper was the driver of a utility vehicle with 3 passengers when he crashed into a culvert. It was later determined he was under the influence of alcohol at the time. 2 women were killed, 1 person hurt. Cooper will be arraigned this Thursday.
Springfield police, they need your help tonight finding this robbery suspect. Investigators believe 25-year-old Jonathan Hopkins robbed a man at gunpoint back in August. Now, Hopkins, described as 5'9", about 150 pounds, black hair, brown eyes, considered armed and dangerous too. So if you see him, do not approach. If you got any information about where he is, call investigators at that number there on your screen.
Tonight, a state of emergency declared in Huber Heights. This comes after the cyber attack that halted city services over the weekend. Jenna Lee Bork live for us in the studio after speaking with the mayor. So Jenna Lee, what does the state of emergency mean now for the investigation?
Well, Elise, a total of $350,000 is being put toward this situation. A state of emergency allows the city manager to spend it as needed instead of having a capped amount of $25,000. Mayor Jeff Gore says that money will be used in multiple ways.
But part of that $350,000 is to help pay the contractor that's there helping us now. Then we're going to be notifying any individual in the city who may have been affected by that. And we will offer help that way.
So did the mayor then tell you when people will be notified?
I really wasn't told a clear timetable since the investigation has just started, but this whole thing could take at least a few months. Mayor Gore says part of the legislation covers a third-party monitoring system through November of next year. That was not in place before the attack. Back to you.
Jenny, thanks. All right, let's talk weather now. We had a great start to the day today. Getting a little cooler, though, if you step outside right now.
Yeah, a little bit chillier out there today, right now, compared to where we were earlier today, where we got into the 60s. And then we got even warmer weather. So high temperature right around 60. We spend most of the day in the 50s, but you're definitely going to notice a difference as you step outside this evening. It is chilly, and it will continue to be chilly overnight into the day tomorrow. Now, southerly winds will warm things up a little bit, mainly for tomorrow afternoon and then our Thursday. And this is all ahead of our next weather maker, which will eventually bring us some rain. Until then, it's looking really nice. So we're going to see temperatures in the mid-30s for our start of the day tomorrow, and then back into the mid-60s by tomorrow afternoon with sunshine. It's looking really nice overall. So coming up, I'll have a look at the rest of the weekend, what we're expecting into the weekend.
A new mayor sworn in today in the city of Springfield, Mayor-elect Rob Rue, filling the seat vacated by former Mayor Warren Copeland, who announced his immediate retirement last week to focus on his health and family. Now, Rue has been serving on city commission since 2018. He was elected as Springfield's next mayor back on November 7th.
Republican State Senator Niraj Antani announcing he is running for Congress in 2024. Now, he is running for the 2nd Congressional District following Representative Brad Wenstrup's retirement. That district spans 16 counties in southern Ohio. We asked him why he wants to make this change from state to federal government.
As the son of immigrants who came here legally, federal policy has always been something that is incredibly important to me. What is going on in the world with radical Islamic terrorists, Hamas or otherwise, attacking Israel and Western countries. They want to target America. It's incredibly important what happens in Washington right now.
Members of Congress have to live in the counties that they serve, so Antani currently lives in Miamisburg. He says, however, he does plan to move to the district if he wins.
The newest Gordon Food Service location now open in Trotwood. The store held a grand opening today. The $7.5 million investment is 4 times the size of the previous location, eliminating Trotwood's food desert status.
We're able to expand what we carry, able to increase our retail, all of the retail products that we have available, including all the produce that's behind, fresh produce that's directly behind me. We've got able to expand our retail carries as well. So typically we have a little bit more of the wholesale side, but with this location and with the expanded buys, we're able to get additional retail products for the community at large.
The store is open to the public, does not require a membership.
Montgomery County Law Enforcement Memorial Association and Allstate Insurance at the Dayton Masonic Temple earlier today cleaning up for a new memorial. Now, this would be a permanent memorial for all the officers killed on duty. Now, the group is in the process of raising the money. Now, Allstate is donating to the memorial fund as a result of today's cleanup efforts.
Our goal has always been to build a permanent memorial to memorialize the officers that have given their life in the line of duty. I think it's extremely important. Having it here in Dayton, it keeps it centralized. It's in the center of Montgomery County, allows all residents of Montgomery County and surrounding agencies, police departments, and citizens to come and visit the site.
The committee is expecting to break ground early next year with the finished memorial revealed in October.
The CenterPoint Energy Dayton Air Show presented by Kroger offering discounted tickets for its 50th anniversary show next year, and they're already on sale. General admission tickets, they're going to be sold in 3 tiers. The first 1,000 on sale today are $20 a ticket. 500 of those are available for each day of the show, Saturday and Sunday. The next tier of 1,000, $25 a ticket. The final will be $30 a ticket. There's 5,000 of those. Regular price, $35, and all tickets will include parking this year. The family 4-packs, that's going to stay $99. Another change, though, if you do round up your ticket prices, that money will be donated to Wounded Warriors.
It's going to be huge. We're really excited about the 50th. We've got a great lineup already. So, and everything that we're going to add on, it's going to be a great show.
Well, the air show will feature the U.S. Navy Blue Angels, Tora Tora Tora, Rob Holland, and Aeroshell. Kicks off June 22nd and 23rd.
Continuing coverage tonight of our exclusive investigation into environmental concerns in Piqua. We hear answers from the Ohio EPA and experts after the break.
Plus, I'm tracking our quiet weather, but I'll let you know when we'll get some rain back in the forecast that's coming up. Here's a live look from our Eco Plumber Skycam. You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.
Dayton 24/7 now, continuing our exclusive investigation into environmental concerns in Piqua. Today marks 2 months to the day since residents came to us upset that the city was burning lithium-ion batteries at a training facility near the Great Miami River.
Yeah, the program's been going on for 5 years, yet tonight we still don't know yet the full environmental impact. Lydia Bice has been investigating this for months, went straight to the Ohio EPA and experts for answers. So is it true these burns were being conducted and there was no testing environmentally from the state?
Yeah, guys, it's almost hard to believe, but neither the Ohio EPA or Regional Air Pollution Control Agency, also known as RAPCA, tested the water, air, or soil when those burns were happening. However, after an outcry from residents and our investigation, some testing has now been done.
We live in a very proud community. It's surrounded by natural resources. We need to take care of that. And part of that means we don't burn toxins over our water supply.
After protests and demands for answers from city officials, the city of Piqua stopped its battery burn program on September 21st after the Ohio EPA and RAPCA surveyed the burn site and found 2 violations. This is a copy of the burn permit. The Piqua Fire Department was contracted through a company called ESRG out of the Columbus area to burn batteries, including those that came from electric cars and generators. Back in 2018, when the city first requested the burn permit, they said it was to train firefighters on how to put out car fires as electric cars rose in popularity. However, according to the Ohio EPA, firefighters weren't even on site during these burns and performing more burns than they were allowed. And according to this notice of violation, the burns caused a public nuisance. The report shows that there have been 17 complaints since May of 2023, including from a nearby business who had to stop operations for a day because of fumes.
We need transparency, we need answers. There is a large discrepancy on the number of burns.
So I took residents' concerns to experts. Dr. June Wong works in the Department of Environmental and Public Health Sciences at the University of Cincinnati.
So then can you kind of explain the dangers that might come with lithium-ion battery burning then?
So lithium-ion battery itself is actually very dangerous, not even just burning. The danger mostly comes from chemicals in those batteries.
Dr. Wong tells me the biggest concern of burning lithium-ion batteries is the air quality. He says lithium is highly flammable and when burned can cause toxic gases like carbon monoxide, hydrogen cyanide, and hydrogen fluoride.
All of those chemicals, how can that impact someone breathing them in?
Most of those toxic chemicals exist in the gas phase, which means they disperse fairly quick. That's both good and bad. The good thing is when they disperse, they dilute. They're being diluted by the air surrounding them. The bad thing is they disperse very quick, so it depends on how far away you are living from this facility or how far away you work from this facility. And it also depends on wind direction. You can be directly downwind to the release of those pollutants. And that will have a lot of issues on your respiratory system. So people with asthmas or COPDs are particularly vulnerable to those gases.
Residents in Piqua aren't just worried about air quality, but also the water. Here's video of the burn site in Piqua. You can see it is just feet from a stream that flows right into the Great Miami River. According to the City of Piqua's Utilities Department, drinking water comes from 3 sources, including the Great Miami River.
I'm very concerned for my health and the health of my children and my parents and the entire community. In fact, I'm worried about the 80 million plus people that have access to the water that starts here.
In fact, the USGS released a study in 2021 warning about the hazards of lithium in water. The study says high amounts of lithium can cause health issues like impaired thyroid and kidney function. However, the EPA is not currently regulating the amount of lithium found in drinking water. Dr. Wong explains why not.
Well, first, this is a very unique case, so you don't see lithium in waters everywhere. But I assume that in the future, with more and more electric vehicles on the road, and there's more battery manufacturer being set up, and there's more manufacturing. There will be a problem at some point.
Ironically, the city of Piqua has this document on its website outlining the dangers of lithium in drinking water. It says ingesting too much lithium can lead to symptoms like abdominal pain, diarrhea, nausea, and vomiting. After those concerns, the city of Piqua has since contracted with a third-party lab to test the drinking water in the city. According to the city, results from those tests show the levels are acceptable for drinking, bathing, and cooking. Last month, we put in a records request and got this inspection report from the September site visit. The report is 7 pages long and features photos of the fire training facility where those lithium-ion batteries were being burned. In this photo, you can see how the company was storing those batteries on wooden skids covered with tarps. We showed it to Alexander Britton Morgan, a fire safety science expert at the University of Dayton.
Notice it says after testing. So this does mean the battery's already been fried, what all the other stuff has kind of come off of it, and you're just kind of leaving it out to the elements.
Now, while the Ohio EPA wasn't doing any air quality testing, they said ESRG was performing emissions testing during those burns. We asked the Ohio EPA director to go on camera several times over 2 weeks. While she wouldn't do that, the Ohio EPA did answer our questions via email. I asked whether it was standard in cases like this to leave environmental testing to companies. A spokesperson said, "It is common for an entity with an environmental permit to also do their own emission tests. In this case, however, we were not aware of the true nature of the open burning operations, and therefore we did not witness these tests." We asked the Ohio EPA how many inspections they had conducted in the past 5 years. They said they weren't able to do in-person site visits during COVID, but did watch a video of one of the burn room tests. This means the only time they visited in person was 2 months ago after getting all of those complaints.
Well, I'm both surprised and not surprised. So I'm surprised because when you have a permit, it usually requires some sort of inspection schedule, whether it's being annually, biannually, or quarterly, but definitely it's not once per 5 years. If someone's saying they're going to burn highly toxic materials or burn like potentially troubling materials like lithium-ion batteries, then EPA should set up a more frequent inspection schedule or a more requirement required for monitor certain type of toxic gas or testing the water body nearby.
But residents say more needs to be done to prevent something like this from happening again.
I'm concerned for our community. It's not about just one family. It's 20,000 people.
Would you say that Piqua residents do have reason to be concerned about this then?
Yes, they do have reasons to be concerned because if someone is burning something next to you, you should always have concerns on what they're burning, what the magnitude they're burning, and what is the consequence of their burning. Yeah.
While the city of Piqua says the drinking water is safe, they are now working with the Ohio EPA to also test the soil, groundwater, and air. The city and Ohio EPA are also hosting a town hall tomorrow night to talk with concerned residents. I'll be at that meeting and we'll let you know what they say.
All right, Lydia, thank you. Well, do you happen to know, though, are there any other burns like this happening currently in Ohio?
So, sort of. The Ohio EPA tells me they issued 103 open burn permissions across the state this year alone. However, Piqua was the only one in the state burning lithium-ion batteries.
What about like the money aspect? Do we know how much money the city's made off these last 5 years?
So not entirely. I requested financial reports from the past 5 years, but the city manager only gave me reports for 2022 and 2023. In 2022, the city says it made $7,800. Then for this year, the city says it made $8,400 before stopping the program in September. Back to you.
All right, Lydia, thanks. And again, as she mentioned, that town hall is tomorrow from 5 to 7 p.m. at Fort Piqua Plaza in the Ulysses S. Grant Room. Representatives from the city, Ohio EPA, and RAPCA will be there to answer all your questions and release data about that water testing.
Well, a nice day with blue skies across the area, but something you may have seen is smoke from a controlled burn that was in Greene County earlier this afternoon. This is a picture of that fire from earlier today, but one thing that we could see as meteorologists on radar is the smoke being picked up by it. So here's a look at a radar loop from this controlled burn. This was near the Spring Valley area. You could see the plume of smoke traveling its way northwestward with a southeasterly wind. And of course, no longer burning there as of right now. But as we head into these next couple of days, likely won't want to do any outdoor burning, as we do have an elevated fire danger for our region. For the day tomorrow, we got a dry atmosphere. We could see some wind gusts up to around 20 miles per hour, so fires can get out of hand pretty quickly. So it's best to avoid any outdoor burning for the day tomorrow. Now, as far as what's going on for us temperature wise, it's going to be nice. It's going to be quiet. We got southerly winds, mild weather in place. Temperatures, they're going to be in the 30s in the morning, but we get up into the 60s tomorrow afternoon. We drop pretty quickly once the sun sets into the 50s by around 5 p.m. or so. 30s again Thursday morning, and there you see by our Thursday afternoon back into the mid 60s, but then we got a cold front that'll make its way in, bringing us some much needed rainfall. Here's a look at where we sit for the month, over an inch behind for the month and almost 5 inches behind for the year. I'll talk more about that rain coming up.
You're watching Dayton 24/7 now.